YouTube? It's your girl, Nene J, and I'm back with another video. If you guys are new, if you don't know who I am, my name is Namia. You can call me Nene, you can call me Mia. It's really up to you guys. So, welcome back to my channel, you guys. So, I will be doing a story time. So, let's get into this video of my story time. So, let's go. Story, my story time that I want to talk about is the time I was diagnosed with scoliosis and having my spinal fusion surgery. It was, well, I'll give you the point details of how I got it, but really, to be honest, I don't know how I got it. But, really, if you don't know what scoliosis is when your spine is curved like an S shape. Yep, an S shape. So I didn't know what it was. The first time I had really bad back pain, literally really bad back pain. Like I can almost barely walk. Like when you get up, it hurts when you try to walk and all that certain thing. When the first time I went to physical therapy, tried to figure out what was going on, why my back hurting so much, why my hips are hurting so much, and it hurt, the pain was so unbearable. So one of the physical therapists had said that I have scoliosis. So the reason how you can tell is because my back was curved, my spine was curved, and then my hips and shoulders were uneven. And to me, I had to figure out okay, so something's wrong with my back. It's not normal. Because with the normal spine, it's straight. And with the scoliosis spine, it's like an S shape. So I went to the first doctor I went to a spinal institute in Germantown. And I was about 13 when I went to the spinal institute in Germantown. They took x-rays on me and showed that my spine was curved really bad. The part where it curved worse, then you can tell that it's getting worse and worse. I had a 60-degree curve, which was close, because when your spine curves, your spinal cord moves, and then the organs that's with the lungs and the heart that's have difficulty breathing, and then your heart, and then that was the main problem. It was kind of hard trying to breathe at certain points, but with it they had to figure out the one thing they had to do was surgery. Yeah. So they had to do surgery on me to fix my spine. So the first time when I got the call that I had to, I didn't get the call. When the doctor said that they had to do they had to do surgery in the summertime, they realized that I'm a child, that I'm 13. They can't do the hospital that I had to go do the surgery was St. Francis. They realized that St. Francis don't do it. So my mom and dad, they switched over to another institute, an orthopedic place called the Campbell Clinic. Campbell Clinic, they treat children as well with people with broken legs, broken arms, people that are in sports and all that. And then me, I wasn't in sports at the time in middle school. But then when I got to high school, I played. But I'm gonna get to that soon. So when I went to Campbell Clinic, they took x-rays on me, and then the doctor that was my surgeon who corrected my spine, who did surgery on my spine, he said, okay, curves are worse, so we have to do something right away, which is surgery. Bruh. So with the surgery, I was actually scared and nervous, what's the outcome of it, what's gonna happen to me. Because really, I was scared in my mind, thinking oh my gosh, I'm getting surgery, I'm getting cut open, what am I gonna do? Is it this, is it that? Because me in my mind thinking oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But I had God with me, so God brought me away. So around in the time of November, so I had to like, you know, before, like months before my surgery, I worked out, trying to make sure I was fit enough to like, you know, won't have no problems in the operation room. So the night before my surgery, I didn't eat or didn't drink anything, no food, nothing. I was hungry the entire time. Before I had my surgery, I was so hungry. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry, I want to eat something, but I can't have nothing to eat or drink the day before my surgery. So the day of my surgery, it was around November the 9th. It was around 5 o'clock that morning when we got to Labana. They had to like, you know, had to put some type of like, some kind of reading on my forehead and like, you know, to check to see like some kind of like radiology, something that like to make sure that I won't have caused like no paralysis or anything like that. Something like, you know, to check like the spinal fusion and then like the spinal cord, because my spinal cord is like, you know, along with the spine. So they demonstrated what they're gonna do to the spine, to when they did my surgery, my spinal fusion surgery. They had to put 4 metal rods in my back, and they had to put bone graft in it so the spines can grow with my spine, so it won't cause anything like, you know, problems or anything. It fixed, so when they explained to me and my mom, because my mom was with me the entire time, during the time when I was recovering in the hospital, she's like, you know, we prayed before I went into the operation room. They put me to sleep, but when I got out of the operation room, I was in the ICU recovering. Y'all don't judge me right now. When I woke up from the anesthesia, from my surgery, I was high on my anesthesia. I wanted my pastor, y'all. Y'all, I was like, Mama, I want my pastor. Don't laugh, y'all. I was like high on my anesthesia. I couldn't like, you know, I couldn't open my eyes because I was like so sleepy. My mom and dad were there at that time. My sister, she was staying at my cousin's at the time. She was like, you know, staying at my cousin's until like, I was like, you know, better for her to come and visit me at the time. The next day, I got flat. The next day after my surgery, I woke up. My mom was there, my grandmother, who was there recently before, like way before she passed away. She was there with me. They visited me. They moved me to another room in outside the recovery room. They moved me to recovery room. So with that being said, like the nurses and doctors that checked on me to see what was the progress, like, you know, the progression of, like, you know, the success of the surgery. They had to cut me from like neck on down to do my surgery. The worst part, not the worst part, but the toughest part of like, you know, getting back up to walk again was kind of the toughest thing to do. I had to like, you know, take my time walking around and just to like, you know, get back to walk again. Yeah, to get back walking again. I was really homesick. I wanted to go home, but they had to like, you know, keep me to make sure that I was like, you know, ready to go home. I had to recover for like a good 2 months of recovery. Around close to Thanksgiving, I think it was like 4 days before Thanksgiving, I had a little fluid that was leaking out of my, like, you know, the surgery spot where it was coming out, it was leaking. So my mom, like, she called the doctor, and the doctor said, okay, we need to bring her back in, like, check, like, you know, take her to Campbell Clinic, check her, and just see, like, if it's not an infection or anything like that. So the doctor said that it was fluid coming out, so they had to, like, you know, take me back to Labana, and then they had to do surgery again to fix the fluid, to stop the fluid from draining out of my surgical spine, my surgical wound. So they stitched me up, and then I came home after, I think, the day of Thanksgiving to spend, like, you know, spend time with family. So months has passed. The worst part about it was, like, you know, bandaging, fixing, like, you know, keeping my wound clean, bandaging, because when I had to, like, you know, take a shower, take a bath, I had to, like, you know, sit on the stool. I can't sit in water because I was stitched up. I can't do this, I can't do that. But the one part I had to do was, like, you know, walk up with a book over my head to balance myself. Also, during that time, like, I think around January, I had to get my stitches taken out because, you know, they were kind of itchy. I didn't try not to scratch because they were so itchy. I had to, like, you know, once, like, my wound was healed, I had to get my stitches taken out. And it wasn't that bad when I got my stitches taken out. At first, I thought it was, like, going to be painful, but it wasn't painful. So, yeah. So today, no, not today. As during the years, high school, I played volleyball. Like, literally, I wanted to play a sport. In high school, middle school, I was like, you know, my spine was like, you know, it's like the feeling of a rod in your, like, forward spine. It's kind of weird once you, like, feel it, but it's how it's supposed to be. So now I don't have any back pain. I feel great. I can do what I can do now without having any back problems. But if I work too much, then I would have back problems. But high school, I played volleyball. I was, like, you know, when you had to dig and then you had to dive and then you had to bump, set, spike, did that. I always had a back brace because if I don't have something that'll protect my back, I could easily injure myself. But I didn't do most of that. I did mostly serving, and I did a little bumping and spike and setting most of the time, but some of the time, but not, like, you know, as often as I think I would. But I've literally, as of right now, my spine has, like, you know, it's a whole lot better. It's like the best thing, like, you know, that ever happened. If I didn't have the surgery, I would have, like, you know, died, and then my spine would have got worse, and then it would have, like, crushed my lungs and then my heart, really. So with that being said, really, that's all I have to say about it. So, like, my little story time. So it wasn't that bad. And if like people that have scoliosis and that has, like, you know, real back pain, I suggest that you just, like, you know, check with the doctor, and then if your doctor decides to, like, you know, have surgery to correct it, don't be afraid. Like, look where I am right now. Things will get better, and, like, you can do things that you can do physically, moving around without even causing any back pain. So, yeah, yeah, so this is really it on my story time. So if you guys are new, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure y'all give this video a thumbs up, you guys. I'll be checking back with y'all again, so be sure to check out my previous videos as well, you all. And yeah, stay safe out there, you guys. It's actually snowing. It's actually not snowing, it's actually ice on the road. It was an ice storm last night. Yeah, it was an ice storm last night. But yeah, so that's really what I all have to say. So I check back with y'all next time. So like I said, give this video a thumbs up, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn them post notifications on, y'all. And stay safe out there. Check with y'all next time. Bye.